Okay, so December 2019, December 5th for the article. So it's like I think it was the second, but my third or fourth day of December 2019. North Korea warns U.S. to prepare for Christmas gift, but no one's sure what to expect. And I've just done got over this B Victoria virus that's killing kids at higher rates than ever, and I'm like, and I'm seeing the con game. They get you the vaccine, then they come along with, oh no, we didn't cover this in the vaccine. Now you have to buy a few $1 billion worth of flu medicine and doctor visits and death. All this, the whole nine. And so I was like, oh yeah, so they sticking it to you twice. They might have made this in a lab in order to pull off a con, to time the con. And so I'm already thinking about all that. And then at the same time, and COVID's like probably here by then. And then at the same time, Trump's economy, the whole world is very excited about Donald Trump's economy going into the 2020 election year. And, Republicans have been saying it for a while, but Democrats are starting to agree that, number one, we ain't got nobody. And number two, I don't think no matter who we had, that the economy is so strong that if it doesn't have to be this strong by election day for him to win. And it's got a long way to fall before he's losing on the economy, because everybody's really excited. Like, wow, the world's going to make it. The economy is it's just taking off like a rocket, the rocket man. And then and so then I'm talking to my mom, just talking, and she's excited about it. She bring it up like. She's excited that Trump's economy is doing so good that he can't lose. We made it. We're gonna survive all this other retarded crap that Obama and Bush and all that nonsense, and I'm like, well, don't count your chickens. And she's like, well, what could possibly go wrong? And she cites what I just said, they're saying that nothing could get in the way. I was like, oh, there's stuff that can get in the way. She was like, what? And I said, a plague? A plague? Bobby, what are you talking about? I said, it's a virus that shuts down the whole, country, the world, whatever. It's so bad and so deadly. Everybody got to go inside and wear a mask, because I just got through having Thanksgiving with them wearing a mask after getting over that deadly flu. So it's all on my mind, and I'm thinking, well, but Kim, Rocket Man, couldn't be threatening the flu that's already here. So, I don't know. I'm like the whole thing, and I spell it out for her. That they got no choice. It's the only thing that they can do is a virus that they say comes from nature, but they engineer to fit their particular model. And it's because the only reason Trump hasn't drained the swamp is because when he starts to arrest Democrats, they're going to snitch on Republicans that are doing the same crap. And so then he's going to have to arrest Republicans, which he wants to do. Yeah, remember, Trump was a lifelong Democrat. And he didn't like the progressive left. He didn't like the big swing that Hillary was taking the party. Well, the party was going in the left, and Hillary was going along for the ride. And he's like, man, screw that. Well, see, the thing is that the Republicans had made a deal with the Democrats, like, we won't put anybody up in 2016 so you can have Hillary if you don't come after Bush for all the, all the fucked up wars, for all the fucking scummy crimes against humanity he committed and lies that he told you, but they couldn't have put anybody up anyway because of all that. Everybody's like, man, these fucking Republicans, man, they're going to have to wait a while. And every time they put somebody up, it's going to remind. So they made a deal. Say, we'll give you the way. And then Hillary made a deal with Obama. It's like, okay, I'll support you, and then you'll support me in 2016. And so we get 16 years instead of the 8 they traded with the Republicans for. And so Trump sees that, he's like, Republicans don't have nobody. And he's a Democrat. So he'll run on the Republican ticket. And so, I mean, that's what you would think, that they would say, well, wait a minute, like after Trump wins, they want their woman president, but after Trump wins, they're like, well, wait a minute, we have both parties. We got our moderate and even liberal Democrats and the conservatives voting our direction. And the Republican Party, and then we got our left wing. We got both parties, but they didn't see it that way. So, because Trump, they had a plan in place. They couldn't. They had the whole Hillary, COVID, Victoria, lockdown, New World Order, socialist, scummy crap going on, and so. And then Trump wins, and then they're like, okay, he didn't drain the swamp. I was like, well, I kept telling my mom, be patient, he can't. I was like, I know, but he can't. Because they'll have to drain a bunch of Republicans, and then he'll risk losing in 2020. So he just got to focus on getting the country looking good. He got to focus on getting reelected in 2020. And then he goes after draining the swamp. Well, they know that's what he's doing. Or they know he can hold it over them even if he doesn't follow through. He's got the leverage of when he no longer can hold office after 2024, then there's no reason for him to not drain the swamp. And so they got to pull out all the stops because between Bush and Obama, they done committed so many crimes against humanity. The whole city's going to prison. So they got to do something, because these are not people, they're not the kind of outlaws that go to jail. They're the kind of people that take oaths to not be criminals. And then they get greedy and they get corrupt, but they're not criminal. Criminals go to jail. They don't. Criminals don't generally try to kill mankind to keep from going to jail. That's suits and ties who shouldn't have been corrupt. They'd have been so much better off if they just done their jobs, follow the rules. They'd be better off. The country, the world, everything would be better off. And so that's what I was telling my mom, is like they got no choice, and it's the only thing that'll work. And I know, and I tell her about the flu I just had is like I'm pretty sure they engineered that in a lab, and so. They can make viruses in labs and, design them the way they want. So they really have no choice. This is the only thing that'll work. This is the only thing that they can cover that they can make look like it came natural and they didn't cause it or anything like that. And so, end the video.